for Lori and me, specifically me. And I say that because I've heard of Dr. Chein, and sitting with us on the set is Dr. Chein. I've heard of Dr. Chein for probably, Dr. Chein, 15 years. I mentioned that before we started the program today. And I have been very excited, very excited about seeing you. And you're right here in Southern California in the Palm Springs area. And Dr. Chein is a hormone specialist. Now, I want to just say that please stop what you're doing and pay attention, because this 30 minutes, if you'll invest this 30 minutes to get some knowledge, people perish because of their lack of knowledge. You're going to get some free medical advice today I think will be invaluable to you if you'll just stop for a moment. But I want to say that Dr. Chein, you deal in hormone therapy. Is that correct?
Right.
Okay.
Hormone supplementation therapy.
Therapies. Okay. And there's really nothing more important. And just a moment ago, before we started the broadcast today, you started to explain to me the temple of the Holy Spirit.
Yes.
And if you would, just kind of start the conversation today with why the temple of the Holy Spirit, us. Go ahead and give me that little introduction.
Okay, God has spoken to us through the Bible.
Yes.
That your body, this body, is the temple that Holy Spirit lives in it.
Yes, it does.
And we forget that message all the time.
Okay.
We spend money on making ourselves beautiful, young, haircuts, cosmetics, then houses, then cars.
Yes.
And clothes. If I ask you how much money last year you spent on checking your temple, most answers are, well, is it covered by insurance? If it's not, I won't.
Well, let me just answer that for us. I don't know that we had a checkup, and the only time we kind of ever go to the doctor, and I don't even remember last year if we did, it would only be because a couple of years ago.
Pain?
Yeah, because of a sickness.
You wait till it breaks.
You wait till it breaks.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That is wrong. When you get a disease, diabetes, hypertension, stroke, heart attack, you say, why, God? And I speak for God to you. You didn't check my temple.
Wow.
That's why I let it break. You let it break. You disappointed me. Now you come to me and ask me for help.
Wow.
Since when you spend money on it to check me out, check my temple out? It was leaking. You didn't care.
Wow.
You know?
Yeah.
You're passionate about this, aren't you?
Yes.
You know, it's interesting. We have scheduled maintenance. You know, my son has a Honda Ridgeline car, and it has scheduled maintenance. And the little thing starts beeping on the dashboard. You know, time for service, and you get that, and you think about scheduled maintenance on your car, but you don't think about scheduled maintenance. And you're saying that we need to check our hormones. Why?
Because this year God has spoken again.
Okay.
Through the Nobel Prize. This year's Nobel Prize in Medicine was given to the field of telomere, and I'll explain later what it is. Telomerase, I'll explain later what it is. And what controls telomerase and telomere? Hormones.
Gotcha.
Basically, telomerase is the function of youth. Today, 2009, scientists can keep a cell living forever.
Wow.
After the person's died, the cell can live forever, eternity, by introducing telomerase into the cell periodically.
Really?
And that truly is the function of youth, telomerase.
Okay.
What's the function of the telomerase? To keep the telomere portion of our DNA long and healthy. When the long is healthy. And just imagine our DNA is a coil, like a helix. Imagine a shoelace. Why does shoelaces have tips? Why not just make a shoelace without tips? Because without the tip, the shoelace will fret.
Yeah.
With the tip, it won't. That's exactly God. You know, the more you go into science, the more you see the beautiful engineering that God has done to our body.
Wow.
Put a little tip there. When the tip is long, you say, that's a new shoelace, healthy shoelace.
Wow.
When tips come, hey, this guy's going to die die pretty soon.
Yeah, it's going to fray. Yeah.
And they've looked at pancreatic cells, looked at the heart cells. When the heart cells don't have telomere anymore, heart attack.
Really?
Wow.
Pancreatic cells, short telomere, diabetes.
Wow.
If these people would know to look at the telomeres some point in time, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, 20 years ago, they would not have this disease.
Wow.
Because they would have done something to keep it long.
Okay, what's a telomere?
Okay.
Yeah.
Telomere is the little end of your DNA. It's controlled by
Thank you, doctor.
the hormones.
Yes.
I'm listening. I'm listening. Okay.
Say that one more
And let me
time.
just say, okay, time out. Let me just say, look, this is really important stuff. But here's Dr. Chein's book, Age Reversal, from Hormones to Telomeres.
Yes.
And this book you did was published in 1998.
That's
you
right.
were ahead of the curve by some
11
10
years.
or 11
At least.
years. And now, real quickly, the Red Sea opened for this kind of study when you decided it was more important to continue your studies when the federal government said you could not do hormone therapies to adults. So just explain that briefly, and then we'll get right back into the importance of hormones.
Okay. Hormones back then is something doctors ignore.
Okay.
Unless you have a problem, thyroid hormone, diabetes, or menopause.
Okay.
Then you would check.
And you're talking the 90s, or the 80s, not
Yes, the 90s. But then I already know that all the hormones should be looked at, should be checked, and there's a particular hormone that the scientists at this field found out that growth hormone, the human growth hormone, is the most powerful hormone to lengthen the telomere.
Gotcha.
The shoelace, tip of the shoelace. Okay, that's the most powerful. In 1994, the federal law says the physician, whoever prescribes, dispenses human growth hormone to an adult,
Mm-hmm.
children are out,
Mm-hmm.
but adult is guilty of felony, punishable by 5 years in prison and $250,000 per count.
Wow.
1994. That law is still in the books, not repealed because no legislature, the Congress had not repealed it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what the stumbling block. That's the Red Sea. That's the river I cannot cross.
Back in the mid-90s, you decided to do what?
In the mid-90s, I decided to, shall we say, forget about the law.
Okay.
And violated it, okay, with the intention of knowing the first person that would be persecuted.
Gotcha.
And hopefully win the persecution. Then stare decisis, U.S. law is a case law country. That means that once the federal judge overthrows a law, that law is invalid, even though it's in a book.
Gotcha.
And that's what I decided to do in 1994, and I was arrested for it. I was charged 7 counts in an indictment, and those indictments were dismissed in 9 months.
Wow.
And that was your Red Sea, really, for this entire type of treatment and this entire research for telomeres, hormones, and basically age reversing. Is that correct?
That's correct. And
Wow.
when you read the word age, also disease reversal. You see,
Okay, God had to give you the confidence to do that. How did that happen?
well, I felt there's a silent speech talking to me, a message given to me that stop doing these other hormones, these menopause hormones, diabetes hormones, thyroid hormones. Put your energy, I have a double degree. I'm an MD, JD. I have a law degree before I started this research. So you're the best person to understand, to navigate this research through the Red Sea.
Wow.
If anybody can challenge that law, you are it.
Wow.
And
So you're a lawyer and a doctor.
yes,
Oh, wow.
yes. So I graduated Southwestern, good school here in Los Angeles.
Yes.
Excellent. I went to the school at night and finished it. I know I had to take on the task because no physician was there facing 5 years per count.
Mm.
Nobody there, and I gotta do it. And once I did it, everybody can do it behind me.
Wow.
It's like having a judge declare 75 miles per hour as a speed limit is illegal. We all drive at 100, right? There's no law anymore.
I don't. Oh my God. Okay.